The Highlanders reignited their Super Rugby Pacific campaign with a dramatic 25-23 victory over the Crusaders at Forsyth Barr Stadium in Dunedin on Friday night, producing a performance that could carry significant implications far beyond the result itself. In a match that ebbed and flowed until the final minute, it was Cameron Millar's late penalty that ultimately separated the sides, sealing a statement win for Jamie Joseph's men against the defending champions. Highlanders edge classic in Dunedin from the outset. The Highlanders showed a level of intent and clarity that belied their underdog status. Millar opened the scoring early with a composed penalty, settling any nerves inside the indoor cauldron of Forsyth Barr Stadium. That early scoreboard pressure was quickly reinforced when Caleb Tangitaw crossed for a well-worked try in the 15th minute, rewarding a sharp attacking sequence that exposed cracks in the Crusaders' defensive line. The Crusaders, however, are rarely rattled for long. Scrum half Noah Hotham responded with a sharp try of his own after exploiting space around the fringes, and fly half Rives Rayhanna added the conversion to bring the visitors back into contention. Rayhanna then nudged his side ahead just before halftime with a penalty, handing the Christchurch outfit a slender 10-8 lead at the break. The second half began with the Crusaders pressing their advantage. Rayhanna extended the margin to 5 points with another penalty shortly after the restart, momentarily shifting momentum their way. But the Highlanders refused to yield. Veteran prop Angus Taveo, making his debut for the franchise, powered over for a deserved try that injected fresh energy into the contest. Millar's conversion restored the lead for the home side and signaled that the contest was far from settled. When Jonah Lowe crossed in the 49th minute following sustained Highlanders pressure, Dunedin erupted. Millar again added the extras, pushing the host to a 22-13 advantage and putting the Crusaders under genuine strain. Predictably, the champions hit back. Will Jordan produced a clinical finish on the hour mark, showcasing the kind of instinctive brilliance that has made him one of the game's most dangerous attacking threats. Replacement fly half Taha Kemera converted before later slotting a penalty in the 72nd minute to edge the Crusaders back in front. With time ticking down and tension rising, the Highlanders showed composure that had been missing in previous campaigns. A late infringement handed Millar a final opportunity, and the young playmaker kept his nerve to drill the decisive penalty in the 79th minute. The final whistle sparked scenes of relief and celebration as the Highlanders claimed a rare and hard-earned victory over their southern rivals. Jamie Joseph strengthens his All Blacks credentials. The result may prove pivotal not only for the Highlanders season, but also for Jamie Joseph's coaching future. With New Zealand Rugby poised to announce a successor to Scott Robertson as head coach of the All Blacks, Joseph has long been viewed as a leading contender. This fixture carried extra weight for the Highlanders' boss. His side had endured a miserable 2025 campaign, finishing bottom of the standings and failing to register a win since defeating the Fijian Drua in round 9 last April. Confidence was fragile, and facing the reigning champions, brimming with All Blacks talent, seemed a daunting prospect. Yet Joseph's tactical approach and motivational clarity were evident from the opening exchanges. The Highlanders were structured in defense, aggressive at the breakdown, and purposeful with ball in hand. They attacked with width and variation, while their forwards provided a robust platform in contact. Despite being without lock Fabian Holland, one of their standout performers from the previous season, the Highlanders looked cohesive and resilient. Joseph's ability to galvanize a squad that had struggled for momentum underscored his credentials at the highest level. If this proves to be his final match in charge of the Dunedin-based outfit, it would represent a fitting farewell, and perhaps a timely reminder to New Zealand Rugby decision-makers of his capacity to inspire and rebuild. Law tweaks inject tempo and excitement. This match also served as an encouraging showcase for the competition's law adjustments, designed to increase tempo and enhance spectator appeal. While the opening half was scrappy, littered with handling errors and stop-start passages, the second period demonstrated the potential of the changes. The flexibility around 50-22 kicks opened up additional tactical avenues, encouraging teams to exploit space behind defensive lines. Meanwhile, the reduced tolerance for repeated scrum resets, with free kicks replacing prolonged stoppages, helped maintain flow. Quick tap penalties further accelerated proceedings, enabling sides to capitalize on defensive disorganization. As the contest loosened in the latter stages, both teams embraced expansive play, producing a spectacle that had supporters on the edge of their seats. If this encounter is any indication, the Tweaks appear to be delivering on their promise of a faster, more dynamic product. A crucial objective for Super Rugby Pacific as it seeks to captivate audiences across the region. Ethan Blackadder's relentless influence amid the drama. Crusaders flanker Ethan Blackadder once again demonstrated why he remains one of New Zealand's most industrious forwards. Despite being overlooked for national honors last season under Scott Robertson, Blackadder has shown no signs of diminished hunger. Operating at open side, he was tireless across 72 minutes, making a team-high 17 tackles and gaining 28 meters from 9 carries. His presence at the breakdown was constant, and he contributed effectively in the lineout, offering the Crusaders a dependable source of possession. Blackadder's performance stood out in a side where several marquee names struggled to impose themselves. His work rate, defensive commitment, and willingness to carry into heavy traffic underlined his enduring value, and may yet reignite discussions about his international prospects. All Blacks contingent fail to dominate the Crusaders entered the clash boasting 13 All Blacks in their matchday squad, dwarfing the Highlanders quartet. On paper, that disparity suggested a decisive advantage. In practice, it proved largely irrelevant. Aside from Blackadder's influence and Jordan's lively cameo off the bench, many of the Crusaders' internationals were surprisingly subdued. Hotham's early try and occasional sniping runs threatened to spark momentum, while wingers Severis and Lester Fainga'anuku enjoyed flashes of attacking intent. However, sustained pressure and clinical execution were lacking. Fainga'anuku's shift into the forwards during the second half, packing down on the flank, illustrated the Crusaders' willingness to experiment, but it yielded limited dividends. The much-vaunted front-row trio of Cody Taylor, George Bower, and Fletcher Newell entered the fray in the 51st minute, yet struggled to generate the dominance typically associated with their reputations. Captain David Havilai and center partner Braden Inner were unable to unlock the Highlanders' defense, while number 8 Christian Leo Willie found little room to operate against a disciplined and aggressive opposition pack. Ultimately, the Crusaders' collective experience and pedigree did not translate into control. Instead, they were drawn into a high-tempo contest that favored the Highlanders' urgency and desire, a victory of belief and momentum beyond the tactical nuances and individual performances. This victory was about belief. For a side that had endured a winless drought stretching back nearly a year, overcoming the defending champions required mental fortitude as much as technical execution. The Highlanders' composure in the closing stages was particularly striking. Rather than forcing offloads or chasing miracle plays, they trusted their structures and waited for an opportunity. When it arrived, Millar delivered. For the Crusaders, the defeat serves as an early-season reminder that reputation alone guarantees nothing. Depth and talent abound, but cohesion and precision must follow. As Super Rugby Pacific gathers momentum, this Dunedin thriller may prove a defining chapter, not only in the Highlanders' resurgence, but also in the unfolding narrative around New Zealand Rugby's coaching future.